Welcome back. Architect Raja Aderi opened his India office in 1976 after spending many years building beautiful buildings in Los Angeles, Islamabad, Dubai, and many other places of the world. He worked with the famous architect Frank Lloyd Wright and was part of the Wright Foundation working on the famous Guggenheim Museum. Over the years, he has developed his own style, which incorporates glass, stylish fittings, and a sense of the outdoors inside. Here, he explains his design philosophy.
Well, what I perceive as architectural expression is to have complete freedom. One shouldn't feel claustrophobic when you enter a building. You should have light coming in as far as possible. I try to see greenery on wherever a workplace, or if you're walking around or even going by lifts, try to expose it. I designed this building in late 70s and the work started in 1980. This is the first curtain wall building in India. It's a system where glass, the windows are outside. They are suspended from the floor as against resting on the floor, which are normal windows. One of the reasons of having this diagonal of the building starting from the center of the junction of these roads was to open up and have the garden reflected in the curtain wall. As you can see, it was also the first building to have a external capsule lift in India, which is straight on the diagonal axis. Working environment should be joyful, funny. That's why I had this Marilyn Andy Warhol's painting as a photograph for a receptionist. Then you go past Salvador Dali's time running out clock, and when you enter my office, I wanted something massive to shock, to excite my clients in asking why such a shaped sofa. Originally this was done by Salvador Dali in his paintings. Later on they manufactured it around 6 feet and they called it Marilyn sofa. Well, I think it's quite fun to have this kind of thing in the office lying around.
And that attempt to innovate in design continues. So at the Technopolis, an IT corporate house for instance, there's practicality fused with flamboyance. For example, while the arches enhance the otherwise regular surroundings, they are also fitted with air conditioning ducts to cool the conference halls.
So what I have done here is inclined 2 floors, giving a penthouse effect on every second floor. The reason being, when you are in the IT industry, you spend a hell of a lot of time looking at the monitor, which is a television set. So, it affects your eyesight, it affects your efficiency. So the idea of having greenery on every second floor was to give a relief. The reason for doing these arches, of course, is to accentuate the vista. Secondly, I had in mind having a Teflon coated covering which would act as a conference room. So with this reflective glass and the arches, everything is reflected, including the floor, which is also shiny. It gets a sense of, I think, wonder and a little exciting.
And this could be mistaken for being one of Mumbai's finest hotels, displaying the best in modern amenities and luxuries. But really, it's Raja Aderi's expression of how an office should be. The ICICI Financial Headquarters is India's first all-steel building made with a superstructure area of 430,000 square feet that was completed in just 8 months.
Also, it's unique in the sense that we have used lightning dissipator, which is also first time in India it's used. It's a nuclear device. It dissipates the lightning before it strikes the building. This is my fourth intelligent building in that way. Intelligent building means monitoring of all the surfaces, controlling all the surfaces. Let's say there's a fire in this building, and if I am traveling in, let's say, Shanghai, and when I get the news, I can, by telephone, shut off the lifts, shut off the generator, start the sprinkler system. So anything that is connected telephonically can be operated from any part of the world.
You might feel like a dwarf as you enter this, the world's largest IMAX theatre located in Mumbai. But strangely enough, even with its gigantic proportions and features like this lobby that can accommodate 600 people at a time, it's awe-inspiring rather than intimidating. As for Aderi himself, it's a culmination of his artistic evolution.
So to make it unique, I tilted the space frame and give a sense of illusion. As you can see, the floor it gives a feeling of floor being sloping. And also vertical lift shaft looks wonky. Continuing the uniqueness of the design, I played around with the lighting in the lobby. As you can see, I've got some neon sculptures. I have lighting which throws patterns on the floor. The other design factor which I try to use in public areas, which you might have noticed in ICICI and Mahindra Towers, as well as this building, I try to make the lobbies, atriums with a exaggerated sense of scale.
So while reflective glass, landscape designing and a breakaway from tradition emboss all his work, with every new building that Raja Aderi constructs, hopefully he will continue to spin off stunning new aesthetics.
I leave you tonight with more vignettes of the exhibits from the Mahatta Palace Museum in Pakistan. Remember, you can write into the show at stylesouthasia@cnn.com. I'll see you next week.